Hello guys and welcome. Sorry it's been a while, but this is a bit of a catch-up video. I've just got obviously a little bit of breaking news. I've got a little bit more to catch up on, but so I will keep it a bit shorter than the video I was going to do on the news that I've just read from Sky, and that is that Manchester United have agreed a £55 million fee with Chelsea. Obviously, we heard, I think it was last week, or it might have been the weekend, of last week, that obviously Chelsea had rejected Manchester United's third offer of 55 million for Mason Mount, and the news has just come through. Obviously, they did have face-to-face talks. I do believe it was some point this morning, and obviously Manchester United have basically told Chelsea, from what we've been reading over the last 3-4 days, is that Manchester United were not going to go any higher than 55. Chelsea were told by Manchester United that £55 million is all they are willing to give. They're not going to give any more to that. So obviously, Chelsea have probably sat down with Manchester United. They've obviously tried to have some negotiations, and Manchester United have said, look, no, we're not moving from our 55 million estimation amount. We don't feel like any more than 55 is worth it. And again, I'm not being biased to Manchester United, but I do believe £55 million is a fair fee for a player with only 1 year left on his contract. He didn't have his best season last season. So I do think it's fair. I do think Manchester United are paying a very fair price, in my opinion, for Mason Mount. And I do believe, Chelsea will obviously just be glad to obviously get a little bit more money in. Obviously, they've just sold Kai Havertz. 3 of their players have just gone to Saudi Arabia. N'Golo Conte is another one that's gone to Saudi Arabia. So they have sold a lot of players. There's obviously still with Lukaku as well, things like that, other players that could leave. But yeah, so a little bit of a crazy one, for Chelsea to reject the £55 million, only to 4 or 5 days later accept the £55 million. I mean, it's just, for me, it's a bit crazy. All this could have been sorted. He could have had his medical by now. He could have been a Manchester United player yesterday. Do you know what I mean? And I do think it's a strange one from Chelsea. I do believe, they negotiated with Manchester United. Obviously, we're looking for more money. Manchester United were, very adamant on their stance. Look, we're not giving you no more. This is where we're at. And, if we give you any more, I don't think it'll be worth it. And we don't feel like we need to pay £60 million for a player who's in the last year of his contract. You could say that's happening with another player at the moment, but I will get onto that in about a minute. But obviously, I want to just talk about other transfers that have also happened to catch up on. And I think one of the biggest ones of the window so far was Ilkay Gundogan going to Barcelona on a free transfer. Now, personally, when it came to it, I expected him to sign a 1 year extension at Manchester City. I thought, do you know what? He's just won the treble. I think he might get one more season. He's obviously decided not to. He obviously wants a new challenge, and Barcelona have given him a 3-year contract, which is more than what Manchester City were offering him. So, I think he'll do well at Barcelona. Obviously, they're in the middle of a rebuild, if you will, under one of their ex-players in Xavi. Anyway, another one, moving on to the next, and that is obviously Kai Havertz joining Arsenal. Now, he was linked to Real Madrid at one point. I don't remember if Real Madrid actually put a bid in. I think they did, but I think Chelsea said no. And now he's an Arsenal player. Arsenal have paid 65 million. So he will now, move across London to Arsenal, and I think that's another one. I think that's another deal for me. From what we've seen of Havertz in the Premier League, I wouldn't say he's worth 65 million. I mean, Chelsea wanted 65 million for Mount. I don't think Havertz has been good enough for Chelsea to to warrant a £65 million price tag. I really don't. That's my personal opinion. I don't think he is worth 65 million. I would have said maybe 40, 45 at best. From what we've seen of him in the Chelsea shirt, he's not exactly been this fantastic player we all expected to see. I've certainly been disappointed with what I've seen from him. And I'm glad it's Mount we've targeted and not Havertz. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next one. Obviously, this is one of the biggest of the transfer window so far, and obviously one of the earliest to get done, and that is Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid. Overall package will be 120 million. Now, we all expected Jude Bellingham to leave Borussia Dortmund. This was pretty much confirmed not long after the January transfer window that, he has told Dortmund he will be looking in the summer. Dortmund have said okay. Similar situation with what's going on with Rice. They had sort of a gentleman's agreement to let him leave, but they said it weren't going to be cheap. He's obviously turned 20 today. And look, £120 million for a then 19-year-old it's crazy money. People are going to look at this and think, that's just absolutely crazy money. But it's going to turn out to be one of the biggest transfers of all time so far. Real Madrid have got by far one of the best young players for the future. I mean, he's already world class and he's only just turned 20 today. So you can see the talent in Jude Bellingham straight away. I don't think anyone doubts that at all. He's going to go on to big things. He's obviously the future replacement for people like Modric and Kroos as well. Obviously, you've got people like Camavinga and Tchouaméni, but Bellingham's going to play a key role in that. Anyway, moving on to the next, we've got Sandro Tonali is joining Newcastle. I literally had the fee in my head, and I forgot. I think it's around about £55 million. I think Newcastle are paying, or have paid, for Sandro Tonali. And I was shocked. I was shocked at this because it seems like such a key player. When you see him playing for AC Milan, you wouldn't think they'd want to let him go, at all. And if they were to let him go, you'd think they'd ask for crazy money. You're thinking maybe somewhere to 90 to 100 million. Pretty much what Rice is going to go for. But to see him leave for so cheap, it did shock me. And obviously he's now going to be playing Champions League football next season with Newcastle United, and obviously it's a different league, so he's got to get used to that and how Newcastle play. Anyway, we're going to go on now to the last one, which has been one of the biggest sagas so far of this transfer window. There's obviously going to be quite a few more, but one of the biggest so far, and that is that Declan Rice will join Arsenal for 105 million. Obviously, they've had 3 bids rejected in that time. So, it's been a bit. I think there was a 75 plus 15 million add-ons. Then I believe there was an 85 plus 5. And by the looks of it now, it's going to be a fixed 100, whilst also paying 5 in add-ons, which will take the total to 105 million, which is only roughly around about 5 million below their asking price. Obviously, Manchester City joined the race. They offered, I don't think it was as close. I think it was it 80 plus 10 million in add-ons? So altogether, you're looking at about 90 million. That was rejected. And, once they realised Rice wanted to go to Arsenal, his favourite destination was to stay in London. Manchester City a couple of days ago pulled out the race. Everyone was just waiting for Arsenal to go in with another bid. I'm not going to lie, I half expected West Ham to reject it again because it weren't going to be what they wanted, but they've obviously been talking behind the scenes over the past couple of days and they've come to an agreement, and I reckon by maybe the end of this week, beginning of next week, Declan Rice will be confirmed as an Arsenal player. Anyway, I would love to hear what you think in the comments down below. What sort of players you think your team should target? Just let me know who you support. Who would you like to see leave? Who would you like to see join your club? Have you got any targets in mind that your manager's looking at yet that you think now I don't think he's good enough, and or yeah, I want him at the club. Let me know in the comments. If you did enjoy, obviously please do leave a like and please subscribe. Obviously, I do want to do well. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one.